Let's talk about stars in the ranking or other features, because that's important and that's one of the most modern and important topics. Let's say we Google iPhone XS. We're going to see some websites that have stars in it, right? For example, T-Mobile. How do they get the stars in the ranking? What did they do to get the stars into their snippet? Any idea? Reviews? From where? Google Business? Yes. No. No. It could be actually, but not directly. But good idea. Actually, yes, for the local rankings, that's Google My Business. This one, not. This one is another source of data. Any idea? If it's not Google My Business? How do they get the stars? Even Verizon does it as well. That's pretty important because there's a whole lot more behind that. My text markers are gone. Martin? The black ones. I have two black ones. Behind me? Ah, on the floor. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. So, the trick, or the way to do this, the thing is, these stars come from their own website. Where they come in the end doesn't matter at all. They could even write them themselves. I do that with one website. But to do that, you have, just with a fun website, not with my own website, you have to have schema.org. Schema.org. That's the trick behind it, so to speak. That's all you need to know about the stars. I'm going to show you how to implement it, but everything you need to know about that, you're going to find on schema.org. So the thing is, we're going to find on the websites, we're going to find schema.org code. Schema.org is just a code language that was invented by Google, I think Google, Bing, and Baidu, I think, together to get some data structure done that every machine can understand, and schema.org is the result of that. And the stars come out of the rating or review. These are two different schemas that you can use. I'm going to show you how you can do that yourself pretty easily. Rating or review are the ones that you will find on the websites. So I'm going to show you an easier example. Let's say this website. They got the rankings. If I go on the website, oh, okay. New tab? Okay. Source code? No? No? No?
Expect element less one.
Expect? Less one? Okay. I need the whole source code. Let's say Control U. I think it's U, right? Yeah. So we have to find on this website. Normally we would find the schema.org snippet. They could have implemented it via a script. Then I don't see it. We'll see. But normally I see it. Let me check. Yeah, there it is. There it is. That you don't have to program it yourself. I'm going to show you how to do it very easily, but just so you see, there's the schema.org. This is responsible for the stars. It says, what is it? A product, right? The name is Sparhandy. Then there's the rating, and then they say rating value is 5, review count is 221. That's what we saw in the Google ranking. It says rating 5, 219. There are even more now, so Google added some more, obviously. And then it says like another description of everything. That's responsible for the ranking in the for the stars in the Google ranking. So that's done with schema.org. The thing is, how the schema.org came into the website, where the data came from, Google doesn't care at all. So if they took it from another website, like a script, and implemented it directly, or if they just typed in 5 and doesn't matter. So if you want to, for example, if you have like a customer evaluation and you got 1,000 paper scripts and they said, you have 4.8 points in total, you could add that here. Just if a competitor wants to see that, you have to show something for it, otherwise it's fraud, right? But Google doesn't care. So Google really doesn't matter. I can show you one thing, what I did. No, I can't because I'm not logged in. Yeah.
Do you have to log in for that?
No. For what?
To change that?
In the website code.
In your website?
Yeah, I have to do it in my website. I did that. I could show you, but I'm not logged in here. I'm going to show you one thing. Here, for example, this one, I have 5 stars, 475 reviews. Those I made myself. So I said to my programmer, hey, that's a WordPress website. Build me advanced custom fields. It's just a plugin for WordPress where you can add fields for everything you want. And then now I have a field where I can say number of ratings and ratings value, and the fields build the schema.org code out of it. So I just myself type in what I want to see there. Is that legal? I have no idea. I don't think so. But Google doesn't care, right? So what can you do? What you need is the schema.org code. Either a programmer does that for you, or you do it yourself. There are schema.org generators. Just Google for schema.org generator. There is one link in the script, and they give you the code. So you just say, for example, I have a review. We did a review with customers. So let's see, rating or review. It's product, I think. Yeah. So for example, we sell. What do we sell? Okay, I don't know. We sell children's shoes. So the brand is Nike. Then we have an offer. We'll do that later. We have the rating, aggregated rating, and the value is 4. The number of ratings is 267. Highest value is 5. Lowest value is 1. And you get the code. You just have to implement the code. That's it. And if Google sees that, in 9 out of 10 cases, it will display the stars in the Google ranking. You have no guarantee, but a pretty good chance of getting the stars. Not for the main page, the home page, just for sub-pages. No idea why, but all these elements in Google, they don't work for the main page. So that's how you get the stars in Google. I advise you to be honest and to use real evaluations and real feedback, but Google doesn't care. And that's another thing. The thing is not just for the snippets. The thing is also that Google understands your code better. Google knows what you're offering. Google knows who you are, etc. It's some way to get information to Google about what you're doing. Pretty interesting. But that's not all. There is another way, or a lot of other ways to do that, to do schema.org. For example, let's see if we find something. Ljubljana. It's a festival today, right? So how did Songkicks get 2 more lines at the Google ranking than the others? They didn't. They get 2 more lines, which is pretty nice. Or here, Eventful got 3 more lines actually. So the chance of getting a click is way higher. It's more gets more attention, and you can get a click here or here or here or here. How do they do that? Any idea? Any idea? Schema.org, right. That's the events. You just have to tell Google, hey, I got events, and you have to have the right format, the schema.org format. Because if you just have a list of events, seminars, for example, that's just for Google, it's just text and numbers. But if you say, hey, schema.org, that's a seminar, a business type event, start date, end date, etc., then Google can understand it and can rank it here. So you can do the hey, I have product now, I have an event. There is one thing for events, here is the event. So you say, okay, start date, end date. If you have an image for the event, even better. You can say the venue's name, the street, the address, and then the code here, have to implement it in your website, and you're done. That's the event markup. Or we saw, earlier we saw, no, what was it, the iPhone X? We saw some sites, for example, Apple. Apple has 1 line more than, for example, this Apple site, 1 line more. with price range. How does that work? How do you get a price range into the Google ranking? No idea. How do they do that? You're right. You're guessing right. That's also schema.org. Price. And there's a lot more they can implement. Google shows some of those. Some Google doesn't show, but some Google shows. There's one thing all of you should do, even if Google doesn't show it, but Google learns who you are. And that's the schema.org organization. You can add information about you, about your company. So you get to a generator maybe, or a programmer, and say, hey, fill in all the organization that we have, or local business, both work, depending on who you are. I use person, you can use organization or local business. And then you can tell Google exactly where you are, where you're located, what your business is, etc. And you can use your social profiles. So you can tell Google that you're the company, but you're also the same one on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Wikipedia, and etc. on your blog. So you tell Google better who you are, who your entity, your brand is. I would do that immediately. So number one priority. In the SEO field, that's the one thing they talk about all the time now, is building brands and building entities, and Google uses schema.org to evaluate how important you are, etc. So build the organization into your website, or the local business into your website, and you're going to see great results in the next months. That's schema.org. So everything you see in the Google ranking, which is more than just this, so every other element normally comes from schema.org.